today in Minnesota?
Um, it might be it's overcast and maybe just a little bit of moisture in the air. Going to be windy. Um, so happy though that there isn't any snow.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing this morning. Thank you.
glad to be here. Thank you for everything.
Thank you too. We're very happy to be here together. Thank you.
Yes.
Good morning, Rodrigo. Good morning, Fernando. How are you today?
Hello, Etty. Good morning. Today it's a beautiful day here. The sun is shining, little cloud, but the sun is shining. And I'm very happy to be here. Hello, everybody. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Philip and Fernando. And very happy to be here.
Thank you. Good morning, Fernando.
Shalom, Eti. Good evening, and good morning, dear friends. I'm also very happy to be here, and I'm ready to follow, to listen to you all. And how are you doing, Eti?
Fine. It's a warm day. It's basically summer. There's a heat wave again, and we have to prepare. And there's a lot of changes that has to be done every day to adapt from almost snow to desert climate. So it is a bit challenging, but we're doing well. And thank you for asking. Thank you so much. And I would
And
like
good evening, Rodrigo and Fernando.
Good evening, Philip.
Good evening, Philip.
Thank you. Thank you. I would like to greet our friends on YouTube. Ruth is here. Good morning, Ruth from Canada. Good afternoon, Victoria from Germany. And yes, so far from Canada and from Germany. So good morning and good afternoon to our friends. Before we start our conversation today, do you have any questions or thoughts that you would like to share with us? Is there something on your mind, a question, a thought, unsolved issue from yesterday class, something on your mind that you would like to share?
Not necessarily on my mind, but I do like the topic.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Eti,
Yes, Fernando, yes.
I have a little question just
Yes.
about one word,
Yes.
since you asked. Because yesterday we talked about the disease,
Mm-hmm.
and I was reading the Torah, and it is connected with plague,
Yes.
with plague. And I was reading about it, and I would like to see it. It took my attention, the word plague in Hebrew,
Mm-hmm.
because could you write it? I'm not sure that I
Yes.
am, but it's Gefa, I think, maybe.
Oh, you mean how do you say pandemic? Because the plague, there are two
Yes.
words. There are two words I would like to discuss with you too. 1 second, I'll manage the audio. Can you hear now? Hello, Fernando, do you have a sound?
Yes, I can listen to you.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
I can listen.
Thank
Yes,
you.
I can hear you.
Thank you. So we have Magefa. This is like pandemic. Magefa. This comes from goof, body. And what the Bible mentioned as the 10 plagues in terms of words is Makkah. In English we call it as well plague, but this is Makkah. Makkah. Heat or beat. Yes. Yes, please.
I think that the word that the word that I saw yesterday, I'm not sure, but was nega, maybe nun, gimel,
Nega.
and ein.
Nega.
Nega.
Nega. There are many words. Nega.
Yes. I, when,
Yes. Yes,
when,
Fernando.
when it was, I'm not with my Bible here, but I was reading Vaikra, and when it talks about the leprosy, it talks about nega.
Yes.
And what took my attention about this word nega, that I was looking in the dictionary, it was related with plague or a legion or something like this.
Yes.
That with the same letters we can build the word the light, because it we can put the ein before
Yes.
the noon and we get enega, that is the light.
Yes.
So I was just looking at this and thinking, why is
Yes.
that?
Yes. Nega is something that is like touching or a plague. This is nega. It comes from to touch, naga. But if we rearrange the letters and the ein comes first, it becomes pleasure. So it is the same letters, but in a different order, we opposite the direction. How do we see this? In other words, we have trouble, tzara. Tzara is trouble, comes from tsar, narrow, tzara. If we change the locations of the letters, we see tzohar. Tzohar is a little window or opportunity. Tzohar is the window that Noah built in the ark. So it depends of how to relate to things. If we see that behind every shadow, behind every trouble, behind every plague, there is a pleasure, there's a light on the other side of the coin, this is why we get in a way troubles, to see that behind there's a better way, better life to experience. This is how the Hebrew relates to those words. Does it answer your question, Fernando?
Yes, thank you, Eti. Yes.
You're welcome. What we find many times is nega tzaraat, the plague of, this is how the Bible uses nega tzaraat, nega, when people have all kinds of wounds that they can affect each other. So if we change, we arrange the letters or priorities, we can turn every trouble into an opportunity to grow. This is in this case, in the case of the trouble, that the trouble becomes a window of opportunities. A narrow place becomes like a gate for a new way to live life. Without going into details, because there's like a list of words at the moment, they don't make any sense because we don't see them in a context, but I hope that I managed to answer your question. Thank you.
Yes, Eti. In fact, you did. Thank you.
Thank you. If you need another assistant or you would like to discuss more, so we can exchange questions with more text that I could create. Okay? Thank you. Yes. Now about the text and about the picture. Who would like to read the text? This is from Exodus 12. And I would like to move the text that also people on YouTube could read it. Yes? Who would like to read the English text? Hello?
I'm not phased.
Hello? Do you have a sound at the moment? I'm sorry, I cannot hear you.
Yes, I
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you. I can hear.
Can you read the text in English? Would you like to volunteer? This is the question.
My English is terrible, Eti. I prefer that another person could read for us.
Yes, please.
Alright, I'll do it.
Yes? Yes, Philip? Hello?
I'll do it. You
Okay.
just might have to zoom in a touch more.
Do you see the text, Philip?
I do. My screen is just a little bit. I think I can make it out.
Yes.
So this says verse 27, is that right?
37? 37, and the children of Israel? It is Exodus 12. Hello?
I'll give this a go. It's just a little bit blurry
Okay.
for me.
Okay.
And the children of Israel journeyed from, I know I can't make this out, Ramses, I think it
Yes.
says. Sorry, if you're able to zoom in a little bit more, I think that might help out the fuzzy.
Is it better?
Now there's a little delay, 1 second. Have you zoomed in?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Okay, there we go. Oh, beautiful. And the children of Israel journeyed from, is that Ramses? Am I saying
Yes.
that right?
Yes.
Ramses to Succoth.
Mm-hmm.
About 600,000 men on foot beside children. Oh, sorry, yeah, I'm seeing the all the zooming that's happening at the moment. And a mixed multitude went up also with them, and flocks and herds, even very much cattle. And they baked unleavened cakes of the dough which they brought forth out of Egypt, for it was not leavened, because they were thrust out of Egypt and could not tarry, neither had they prepared for themselves any victual. Now the time that the children of Israel dwelt in Egypt was 430 years. And it came to pass at the end of 430 years, even the selfsame day it came to pass, that all the host of the Lord went out from the land of Egypt. It was a night of watching unto the Lord for bringing them out from the land of Egypt. This same night is a night of watching unto the. I'm just waiting for it to scroll up.
Yes, 1 second, please. Yes. Do you see the text?
I can see it. It's just not happening instantly at
Yes.
the moment.
Do you see it, Philip?
Now we can. Unto the Lord for all the children of Israel throughout their generations.
Thank you. Thank you. So, according to verse 40, how many years the children of Israel dwelt in Egypt according to the verse? What is the number that we meet here?
430 years.
Yes. The question is, how can we abstract a number and look at it? 430. 1 second, I have to make the pen thinner. When we see the number of 430 without a zero, what number do we see, or what digit or digits, or how can we sort them? Rodrigo, do you have?
43.
Yes?
43.
43. So let's organize the numbers according to Pythagoras triangle. Where would be the 3?
The spirit,
The spirit, the vertical. The spirit will be here.
yeah.
Yes. The 400 or the 4 or the 40 will be here. Yes.
Horizontal.
Yes. So look what happens, and this is a lateral thinking. This is Weinreb also write about this in his book Roots of the Bible, because sometimes we find 400 400 years, and now we find 430. There are different calculations, but the abstract is as follows: 430 and 43. We arrange the letters. Plus 1, we have 44. What is the value of 44? Which word does it create in Hebrew? Do you remember?
Dam, which is blood.
Dam, which is blood. 44 is blood or dam. What is the first plague that we meet in Egypt? There are 10 plagues, yes? What is the first plague? Blood. And here we start.
Bloody water.
The water, yes.
Yes, we start with blood. So we start with the 44. We have 10 plagues. The 10 plagues basically brings us again to 1, and we are here at 5. Again. Because usually, as we saw in the covenant between the parts, Brit Ben Abetarim, covenant between the parts, God promises Abraham that his seed will be an immigrant, or will dwell in a land which is not there, and they will live there 400 years. Do you remember this? In Genesis, God promises Abraham. Do you remember that chapter?
Yes.
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 But here, in a way, we find a contradiction. We find in this verse. So which one? So the question is, which one of the verses is right? So it depends of how we read. But here is the abstract. This is the abstract again, and this is the structure again. 430. This is what the Bible says. Without the 0, we have 43. What do? The spirit, yes, is 3. The matter is 4. There's another way to read the number if we exchange the letters and we add 0. And this is how we get the word Shem, name. The name of God, the Tetragrammaton. Do you understand how we read this number? There are few ways to read. There are many ways, basically infinite ways to read the number. Again, here, this is another one way, call it A. There's a spirit, and this is the matter. And here starts the first plague. Once we shall accomplish 10 plagues, we shall be at the 5. The diagonal that sets us to Sinai, which is 130, love. This is one way. Another way is to see the completion of the name. Again, Shem, the name of the Tetragrammaton, which reach its completion after 26 generations. So we have Shem. Shem is a name. When Shin is 300, Mem is 40, but we relate to them as 3 and 4 in this way. So when the name is completed, in this way, the Tetragrammaton, comes the salvation, the 5. Do we understand this kind of thinking?
Yes, it's beautiful.
Because what happens is people try to prove it archaeologically. They try to read the ages of the people who lived in this time and sum up their life and reach all kinds of conclusions, but those are qualitative numbers, yes, Those are not calendaric years. Those are qualitative numbers, like pure numbers. Questions so far?
Yes, quick question.
Yes.
When you're changing the numbers around like that, are those always relative to each other?
Again, please. Again.
So when you're changing the numbers around like you did just then, does it
40.
always turn out that the words that made those numbers or make those numbers, do they always relate?
I will ask now many questions to understand what you're saying. First of
Definitely.
all, you ask about the relation between 430, and then we move to 43. Yes, this is it. And then to replace the 3 and the 4. This is the question, if I understand.
Not necessarily. So the word that you got 430 from, and then the way that you changed it into 34 is okay. I understand how you do that. The other words that do also come to 34, do those, the two words that you started with and the one that you got out of, say, the 34 in this example, are they always related to each other when you do that kind of process?
Okay, can you be specific in your question? I should
Yeah,
be
definitely.
happy.
Okay. If you even maybe want to write this down in the steps, I'll sort of
Yes.
explain
Yes.
in the steps that we're doing. So with the first word that you had to get the 430 out of, if you write that word down.
1 second. I'll move to the sketch and please show me what you mean, that I could be with you moment by moment. Okay, this is the
Definitely.
first. This is the first. Yes, with the 10. Yes, this is the first sketch that you would like to relate to, or the other one.
I'm just waiting for my screen to load.
Okay.
I'm watching through YouTube.
Okay.
Yep.
This one?
Are we starting from a blank screen? Sorry,
No.
I see a blank screen at the moment.
Oh, you see blank. Maybe
Now
it's
we've gone
maybe
back.
it is charging, because at the moment what we see is the first sketch. How do we relate to 430? So
Okay.
do you have it?
So the word that you started with to get your value of 430,
Yes.
if we can start with that word.
Oh, okay, the 430 is the numbers of years that the verse gave us. Yes, verse 40 says,
True.
now the time.
Sorry, yes.
Yes, okay, this is how we started. This is the first step. Yes? This is first step.
Okay.
Yes. Can you ask?
So even from there, so you removed the 0 and you got to a 43. Was there a word for 43 that you were using, or that's still only the steps so far?
It's just to see the numbers without the 0 and to leave the structure as it is. So the structure remained 4-3. So I just wrote beneath the 430, I wrote 43 without the 0. This is the second step, to remove the 0 and to remain with the digits. Yes? Is that clear?
Understood.
Yes. And then when we have 4 and 3, we open, because those are 2 of 3 which Pythagoras triangle deals with. So we posted those digits or numbers in the Pythagoras triangle. This is stage 2. Is that clear?
Yes, okay, I see where you're going with this now. Yes, that does make sense. My question, I guess, wasn't very relevant in that example then.
I think that maybe what you ask for is the 43. I could relate to it as 3 and 4 in Pythagoras structure, but also I could relate to it as 43 as one number or one stage before the first plague. What terminates?
It was maybe
Yes?
yes.
Yes,
It
Philip?
was maybe a bit more of a general question, just from seeing how you've done it before. Just now, I was thinking that 430 was derived from a word, but obviously it did come from a verse, and I just took that opportunity thinking that it was another example. But maybe even in general, if it's okay,
Mm-hmm.
to relate how two values, or sorry, even more so, a single value that represents several words, how you're usually changing the value and playing with it in the different ways, and they come to other numbers which represent other words. Does that make sense so far?
Now, this is what yes, I would like to show a little example of abstract thinking, just to show us the possibilities. The possibilities. I just take the diagonal. Now, just we move to another plane of thinking, regardless of what we have been showing here. Here's another one. Let's take the diagonal here. Here, just for example, this is like a mirror or like a firmament. This is in a way time and space. This area. And here's the abstract. If we take the 4 as a qualitative number, here we can find the 4 in space and time is 400, is 40, is the letter Dalet, is the letter Mem. Here, basically, I would like to write it. 1 second. Is the letter Mem here? Or
That
Mem
would be nice,
Sofit?
actually. You could
Yes.
label it because the cursor is a little delayed after your words.
Okay. Okay, so I shall wait. Do you see now?
Yes, I
Yes.
see you wrote down 440 and you backspaced
Yes.
that letter you wrote.
Yes.
And
So
now we've added it to the bottom.
yes, you see on one side here, on the abstract side, let's make it in a way yellow here. Yellow, 1 second. This is 4 as pure number. But in space and time, it can appear as 400 or as 40. Or, 1 second. I'll make it even more.
Yep.
1 second. I would like, yes, Philip. I noticed something that I would like to fix. Yes.
Go for it, yeah.
Yeah, second. Let's make it even better. Second. I hope that I'm not boring you with this mathematic, but this is how it works. This is 400, so we might find it as the letter Tav. 40, we can find it as letter Mem, or Mem Sofit, or 4 is the letter Dalet. Or we can find it as question. Question is also 400. Or fox, shu'al, or market, shuk.
So the values right now, are they values that still are with words that don't necessarily have something to relate to each other by?
This is it. What we think usually.
Okay.
Do you understand? Here
I do more now, yes.
yes, when you look up right where the sun is, this is like pure numbers or beyond space and time. This is absolute. Or Fernando, how Abulafia would call it. Fernando, if you're listening, if you're here with us.
Circular. It will. Can you hear me?
Yes, Fernando. Yes.
Eti?
Yes. Do you have a sound?
Abulafia. I think so. I don't know if my internet is.
Yes, I hear you now.
But Abulafia. Okay. Abulafia would call it circular thinking. Circular thinking.
Circular thinking, yes.
Or parallel thinking. It's you see beyond the manifested.
Beyond, this is the
And this 3 and 4 is always present. We can see in the name Shet or Shem, that is name, that is essence. We can see in Moshe as well, or Hashem. We can see this 3, 4, and 5. And it's beautiful because like when we see the relationship between Adam and Hava, Shet is a correction, right? When they have Shet. So when they find the vessel, the 3 and the 4, they made the correction. And to leave Egypt, they stand for 130 years, is the same idea. And the Savior is Moshe that also carries the 430, you know.
yes,
The 3 and the 4, or 340 is the same idea.
yes. Excellent.
Because he carries the name, right?
Yes, excellent. Excellent. Do you see, Philip? Do you understand what Fernando was saying?
I see more of it now, yes.
So what we find here in the field of manifested, and for the sake of explaining, I will make the manifested red, let's say. Not in this sickness, but sinner. What we find in space and time, because you can ask, what is the relation? And every person would ask, what is the relation between question, fox, in English, and market? What do question, fox, and market do with each other? But in Hebrew, all of them has the value of 400.
So say for this example, all of those words do have the value of 400.
Yes.
Do say like fox and market, a example of a relationship would be a fox is being sold at a market or something along those kind of lines, or
You could
under any sort of scenario.
you could say that people who are sorry that I'm a bit excited and I don't let you.
No, please,
just
please.
because it is bubbling in me for so long, and finally I can speak about it. So I'm sorry that I'm a bit excited. You can ask
You're
what.
helping me out anyway.
Thank you. What is Fox has to do with the market or marketing? So we can look at the fox who is trying to get to the vineyard. We can look at the marketer people who are like foxes. Because what if the value of fox in Hebrew is 400? This is shu'al. 300, 70, 30, this is 400. So now we come to the question, what is a fox? What is the quality of a fox? It's not like a Disney movie that we see a fox. What is the quality of a fox? Why is the quality of a fox is 400? Why when the temple is destroyed, there's a beautiful lore that says that Rabbi Akiva look at the temple destroyed. After the destruction, he saw foxes walking in the destruction of the temple. So what does this picture, Fernando, would you like to abstract the picture? Why foxes are walking in the temple which is destroyed? What is this picture?
For me, it seems that the fox is it's something that came into the night. You know, it came like a thief. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when nobody's looking, it came and destroyed the secret.
Yes. Very
It's
good.
interesting, Eti, because fox usually hunts chicken, you know,
Mhm.
hunts wolf, right?
Yes.
And I just read I read some days ago on Luria's book that chicken wolf is related with Yesod, not 100% related because it's mixed with Malhut, but has a relationship with Yesod. So when we think that fox is 400, is Malkut, is the manifestation, all the manifestation wants to delacerate the hidden, you know,
Mhm.
just like the temple.
Yes. 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 Very good. We said, you remember the Lord that says that the square, the measure of the promised land is a square of 400, about 400, but the measure of the temple is 500. And we ask, how is it that the temple is bigger than the promised land? Because the temple has the potential. So this is a lore A to explain what I want to say as regarded to Rabbi Akiva, seeing foxes in the ruin of the temple. When the temple is ruined, it means we don't have the 5 anymore. We don't have the hidden. We don't have the source. So we have 4. Add to it 2 zeros and we have foxes. Do we understand? How we
Yes.
abstract things? The temple is the full hand perspective, is the manifest, like we have in our palm. We have 4 simple fingers turning to one direction, and the thumb is always up, and this is the potential. A full hand perspective is the potential, thumb up plus 4 simple fingers. This is 5. When we cannot lift our potential up or the thumb up, we are left with 4. So for us, it doesn't matter if it's 4, 40, or 400, or 40,000. This is 4. So why foxes are walking in the ruins of the temple? Because this is what ruined temples mean. It means we lost. We think about Einstein as a great mind, but where does this great mind coming from? How do we learn to think like this? From here? Philip, did you understand?
I did manage to take that on. I think I will continue my question another time as well.
You can ask, and everybody is welcome to ask. Ruth is saying Fox has no relation to Hashem.
In
That's
regards
correct.
to that, I'll maybe continue when
Yes, Philip.
I'll maybe continue that one with another example when an opportunity comes.
Okay. We shall stop whenever you will. It's good that you ask. Very good. Thank you.
Thanks for explaining.
You're welcome. So, Rodrigo, Felipe, Fernando, Jeff, would you like to say something? Ruth, Venus,
E.T.,
yes, Victoria, yes, please.
I'm just came to my mind now one question. That is, maybe this is why people do not build another temple in Jerusalem, because we can think that we have people with a lot of money that could build a temple there,
Mhm.
but it's not about money, it's about a vessel. It is needed the 3 and the 4, it is needed the structure, the secret structure to build the temple. It's not only the manifested. I don't know, it just came to me that it's not possible to make the first temple only with politic and money.
Yes, the temple is in the heart. The temple is in the heart. Yes, Ruth is writing that was very clearly explained and helped much. Thank you, Ruth. The question is simple. Do we understand? How do we read the Bible? There is a great number here. Can you please read? This is another example. Unless if you have question, I would like to bring another perspective. Do you have questions before we read verse 37 to abstract it? Rodrigo, Felipe, questions? Jeff, maybe? Would you like to say something, Jeff?
Go ahead with the verse, please. That would be good to hear.
So, thank you. Who would like to read verse 37? Do you see the letters clearly? Who would like to read verse 37?
Can we zoom in a little bit more?
Yes,
I'll read
of
it.
course. Tell me if it's right. Do you see the text?
Yes, that's good. Thank you. And the children of Israel journeyed from Ramesses to Succoth, about 600,000 men on foot, beside children.
Thank you. 600,000. How do we write the number 600,000? Who would like to help me? Let's say we are in class, second class, third class. How do I write 600,000 in numbers? Can you help me?
600, 000.
How many zeros?
5 zeros.
5 zeros. Okay, 600,000. This is one way to write it. Another way to write it is 60 double 10,000. This is another way to write it. Or it's very simple to cancel all the zeros because we look only here at the front. The front says 6. Now 6, to which letter does it refer to in the Hebrew
Vav.
alphabet? Vav. Vav. Very good. The letter Vav, as we learned, what does it represent? Do you remember? From Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, and Yechidah. To what does it resonate? To spirit, to Nefesh level, to Neshama mind, Ruach.
Ruach.
Ruach, this is, one second. Ruach, spirit. The spirit which is dwelling in the heart. So, now, what does it mean 600,000? Do we see in front of our eyes a movie, 600,000 men? This is what we see here? How do we abstract 600,000? It means 6, it means Vav, it means spirit. What does it mean on foot? On foot is the palm of the foot. In Hebrew, ragli. Ragli. We put the yod in brackets. We look only at the word regel. Regel is leg. From this we have lex legis, legislation. People, from this word regel, which means leg, we have legislation. But one thing at a time. Regel. What is the value of regel? It means leg. 233. What is 233? Tree of life. Etz HaChaim. Do we understand? Because if it was a director, he would read now literally 600,000 men, 600,000 soldiers on foot, armed, except the children. So he would put on screen 600 or maybe copy, paste copy, to create a huge scenery with 600,000 men. But this is a literal reading.
Right.
So how do we read the text from the perspective of wisdom, like we discussed yesterday? We look at the 600,000 as a Vav, as a spirit. Ragli is not just foot, like the army, which is like men who's going on foot on the ground. We put the yod in the side. We look at the stem letters, the root letters are regel. Regel is 233, like the value of the tree of life. So now is the question. Let me please read again the verse. Do you see the text? Are the letters clear enough, big enough? Jeff, can you? Is it big enough? Is it good?
It's getting better, getting bigger.
Okay.
So just a little more.
Yes. Thank you. It's okay because everything is moving and we have participants.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So, and the children of Israel journeyed from Ramesses to Sukkoth. About 600,000. So about with the Vav in the heart. With the tree of life.
Excellent.
Right, children.
Excellent. Very good. Excellent.
So with the spirit in the heart, through the tree of life, they have journeyed from Ramesses to Sukkoth.
Excellent.
So it's a movement of the spirit with the tree of life
Yes.
present.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yes.
And we know Ramesses represents the bad speech.
Yes.
So they're moving from that apparently to the good speech, the
Excellent.
good thoughts.
Excellent. With the power of the Spirit. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very
The power
good.
of the spirit.
Excellent.
Power of the spirit coming in the human hearts.
Yes.
So it's a change in the conversation, a drastic change. And it's coming out of exile, the exile of poor speech and thinking. Can't hear you, Eddie.
It's beautiful what you said. It is beautiful because the meaning of Ramses, Luria says, Ramses in Hebrew, Ramses. I will take it a bit to a plain area to write the meaning of Ramses in Hebrew. 1 second. I'm sorry that I'm jumping the board fast. Excuse me, but I need to go to an empty space. Ramses. Luria says we can divide the word into two parts. Ra, which means bad, and Masas. Masas is melting. To melt something. So they, like you say, it's a bad speech, or when bad speech is melting people and discourage people. So they move from Ramses, from a place in them when the bad speech is melting the intentions of people, and they move to Sukkot. Sukkot. The singular is Sukkah, and Sukkah is a hut. In a way, there is shadow, and there is like shadow of belief. If you notice, if you Google the going out of Egypt, what is in art, whenever artists describe the slavery in Egypt, if you will look into it, they always paint a scenery without shade. People building structures,
Wow.
and there is no shade at all.
Yeah.
No tree,
No
no-
mercy, no relief,
no water fountain. Excellent, excellent. This is why
no protection.
no protection, no rest, no conversation, just under the sun. And under the sun is like people who think that their mind, our mind, which is basically a material, can solve everything. This is what it means to be in Egypt. And here they move from Ramses, from this bad feeling that melts every initiation. They move from Ramses, it's also a city, but it's also a county in the heart, to Sukkot. There's a shade, we can rest, we can recruit our powers, and with 600,000, with the potential of the spirit in the heart. The tree of life, Ragli, with the tree of life. How they move. This is the movement, to move from Ramses to Sukkot. All those names, they are not geographical realms, those are mental spaces inside of us.
Yes,
each-
going from under the influence of the mind of man to the influence of the mind of God
Excellent.
through the spirit,
Excellent.
God's mind.
Excellent.
God's intentions.
Yes. Yes.
I would say the under the mind of man, the micromanaging mind is when it's getting to its extreme. When you come under, we can solve all these problems by our clever thinking how to cover every problem, with our system, right?
Yes, optimize everything, squeeze people down, narrow them down, and we can figure this out. No,
Yeah.
we cannot figure.
And especially to micromanage the people so that they're constantly looking over their shoulder.
Thank you. Philip, did you understand this kind of thinking? Ruth, Venus, Victoria, Philip on YouTube, did you understand? If you have questions, Rodrigo, Felipe, Fernando.
Eti,
Yes.
oh, sorry, go ahead, Felipe. Go ahead, please.
No, that's okay. I was just going to say yes, thank you. That's all.
Yes, Rodrigo?
No, actually, I just thinking. I listened what you said and all the explanation, and I just thinking about the picture. If we could use this way of thinking, for example, analyzing the picture, because I see a gamal,
Mm-hmm.
which is 73, the same of Chokhmah, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and you have the stick, and I don't know if stick in Hebrew is something like mekel with man.
1 second, I'll
Oof.
write. 1 second, I will write.
Lem-
I will write your words, okay? I will write your words. You say camel,
Yes.
camel, gamal. Value of 73, like wisdom in Hebrew. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes, this is one thing. What is the second?
The stick, I don't know if I'm right, but I found the word mekel.
Makel.
Whereas with man, kuf, and lamed,
Mm-hmm.
which the value is 170. And I remember the word tov, which is 17. With,
Yes.
using this way of thinking, we can abstract the zero and thinking about tov.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know Hamor, which is the donkey. The donkey, Hamor,
Mm-hmm.
appears here, and Hamor is 254. And if we abstract the Vav, we get 248, which could means Avraham or Bamidbar, something like that. I just looked to the picture at and try to apply this concept and try to figure out something hidden here and the meaning of all these elements. Just try to contribute, but I believe that we can, and I learn with you, we can look all we see in this life with these eyes, the eyes of the spirit, and try to find relations between these concepts and words and numbers. I just try to help, and I hope you can help me too. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Thank you for bringing this, Rodrigo. The value of donkey is 254. This number appears also in the scroll of Esther that Jill is reading for us at the moment. Is 254 is twice 127? 2 times 127?
Yes.
Yes. So what is 120? 1 second, I'm writing and speaking. 1 second. 127 Victoria maybe remembers, this number is mentioned twice as regarding to whom?
The years of Sarah's life.
Years of Sarah's life. Sarah's life. And how many regions or territories or countries or provinces Achashverosh yes, those are provinces. I hope that I have a good spelling. I'm not sure. Provinces of Achashverosh in the book of Esther. And Felipe once asked me, why does Achashverosh offer Esther only half of his kingdom? And we said that he can offer her only half because he's the king of the revealed. So he can offer only the revealed part. He cannot offer the concealed part. Interestingly, what Weinreb says about the 127 provinces of Achashverosh is when the Bible mentions the territories or the provinces of King Solomon, it was 254, double than the provinces of Achashverosh, though geographically it was much smaller, but it was 254. And you bring this very beautiful number, so this is the value of donkey. Very interesting.
So, in a way, King Solomon had the kingdom in its complete
Yes.
completeness.
Yes, he had the manifested and the hidden. This is what Weinreb says, and Jill with her gift to us is reading the book, so he speaks about it a lot, about the relation between King Solomon and Achashverosh, how King Solomon had the relation to the secret.
And King Solomon has the 3 and the 4 again. No, wait.
Yes, in his name, he has the 3 and the 4. Let's open the name Solomon. 1 second. Shlomo again. Very good, Fernando. Shlomo. We have 300. Yes, we have 30. And we have 40. So we have the 3 and the 4. So what is Shlomo? It's basically Moshe, the same structure as Moses, Moshe. This is 3, 4, and 5. And the Lamed. So we take the Shin here. We add the Lamed. And we Mem and Hey. So Shlomo is basically an upgraded Moses. I think that Shlomo has the value of Tzipora, 375. Rodrigo, are you still with us?
Yes, Eti, it's 375. Yes.
And Tzipora, the wife of Moses?
Yes, the same.
Tzipora, 375. Questions or thoughts?
Oh, it's beautiful.
This is amazing. I never realized it.
Yes.
It is quite interesting if we go and read every verse to the depths, we get completely different picture. And I wish that I could slowly, day by day, go with you more inner and inner. This is my wish.
Yes.
Thank you so
Eti,
much.
I
Yes.
cannot. Just that since Lamed stands for Kaf Vav, you know
Yes.
the structure of Lamed,
Yes.
we can understand why Shlomo was the one who made the temple, you know,
Yes.
because he has the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 26.
Yes.
So he has the vessel and the spirit, you know.
Yes. Because the letter, I will explain to those who listened first time, the letter Lamed is basically composed of letter Kaf, which has the value of 20, plus the letter Vav as a flag, which has the value of 6. So every Lamed is the value of 26, and 26 is the expression of the tetragrammaton, the name of the 4 letters, because we have 5, 6, 5 and 10, 26. And Fernando was saying that why King Solomon had this righteousness to build the temple. He has the qualities of the name of Moses, plus he had, in a way, the secret, the 26, the additional Lamed. I hope it was interesting.
It was amazing, Eti. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Definitely
for,
learned a lot.
thank you, and please ask questions on Discord or here if you don't understand, and if we're always moving, because what is it all about? To move between the manifested, between what our eyes see as revealed, so to speak, or visual or virtual, and to move into the realm of the dream, to move to the realm of the abstract, to move and to see the things from the abstract perspective, the origin perspective, the tree of life perspective. This is Philip, why we are moving all the time in this diagonal from this manifested reality to the abstract. And then, yes, and then we see things as they are, in the origin, in the source of origin. This is what we do in those conversations. We move from the manifested to the abstract to see things behind the veil as they are pure. And it changes our lives daily, this movement. So thank you for coming here today. I would like to
Thank
thank
you
all.
so much. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
You're most
Thank you
welcome.
so much, Eti.
Thank you
Thank you,
so.
Thank you,
friends.
friends.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
friends. Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you so much. And
Thank
if you
you,
have,
everybody. Yes, Auntie, please go ahead.
yes, I would like to invite you for another session tomorrow if you have the time to open and to go into this
Yes,
the
would be
realm of
great.
dreams. Yes.
See you tomorrow.
See
Thank
you.
you, everybody.
Shalom, shalom.
And shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
Hello.
Shalom. In the realm of dreams, right?